Alright. We've actually got only a couple of things, but it's, I think, still a pretty nice update. But these things, of course, aren't terribly stable. Why don't we begin with the new NISA release, which would, of course, be Yuru Yuri Season 2. Happy Go Lily. Season 2 Premium Edition. As you can see, it hasn't been opened. The truth of the matter is it's actually been here for a while, but I've been sufficiently distracted that I haven't been opening stuff. So, y'all get to see me open it and discover what's in here. It feels a bit off, but I mean like the book feels slightly small or something. We have here discs 1 and 2. This is, of course, Blu-ray, and I guess since we do it, yeah, it says region A on the side. Good to know. Disc 1. And disc 2 is a little upside down. And now it's not. And this time they decided to put the advertisement for other NISA stuff in between the DVDs and the book. And then, so we got the book. This one is specifically called an art book. This is our second art book. So, let's see. Oh, I see some more episode guide information. So, it's your pretty standard NIS Premium Edition book. Various imagery, character designs, sort of stuff. Various images. Some more, it looks like some cast roll information back there, maybe. And that would be the latest NISA release. In order to these. Okay, we've got Taisho Baseball Girls on Blu-ray. This is Japanese only, so subtitled only, which is expected, because I think I mentioned a week or two ago that you can kind of predict which re-releases are going to be redubbed versus subtitle only, because they didn't re-release the DVD alongside this. Oh man, these things are just tough. And I don't know if I read off the back, or rather I don't remember, but it's region A only. I don't remember what the DVDs look like, and I could dig them out, maybe. They might not be where I think they are, so I'm not going to. But here we've got Taisho Baseball Girls on Blu-ray. Here we've got Unico on Blu-ray, released by Discotheque and Eastern Star. If they're the same, this would be both movies, The Fantastic Adventures of Unico and Unico and the Island of Magic. It says the pilot film is an extra on here. I would have to compare it to the Japanese version to talk a lot about this. I don't know if I had much to say other than there's something about the Japanese captures that were a bit off. It'd be interesting to know if this one's good or not. Occasionally, relics from the past wander into our modern-day present lives. And here they are. This is definitely going to be different since they're both on the same Blu-ray. Which makes them being a double feature make sense, I think. Alright, next up we've got Naruto Shippuden DVD set 17. Your new anime channel is here. Okay. And I went over with the friend that I'm watching these with what happened in the previous one. He remembered. I don't know. I guess actually he remembered it about as well as I did, I guess. So we know the reveal that happened in the last one, and it makes me concerned that this one's probably going to be a bit more filler, but I guess we'll find out. And then, last but not least, the other thing I'm watching with that friend, One Piece, and this is Season 5, Voyage 5. And, I guess we'll just open it up. I think we noted last time that even though they don't usually, these ones were actually having different images on them. Now I think about it, did I check this one? Okay, I was just curious because I realized I didn't notice the Region A symbol like I found on these Blu-rays, and this one says Region A down there. Doesn't have the symbol itself though. Interesting. So, that's all of this week's new anime DVDs. It's not a whole lot, but it's actually a good selection of interesting things, I guess. 3 series I'm in the middle of watching, a childhood favorite, and I'm trying to remember what happened in this anime. I thought it was just pretty good. Oh well. In any case, I've once again had a light week of anime watching. Basically, maybe I should double check, because I think I've only watched one and part of one thing, and it occurred to me I was going to double check that. Yeah. Definitely only... So I watched the second season of Lagrange. I think it's Lagrange. And I thought it was an okay series. I'm kind of surprised less people like it, but maybe that kind of goes in line with kind of why I liked Vivid Dread Operations as well. Maybe they're not too dissimilar in terms of maybe being a bit naively optimistic in a way that most people don't, or not most people, but a lot of people don't find convincing or entertaining or something like that. I kind of noticed this similar trend in the both of them. And with Lagrange, I don't know, there was a bit more to it because there was also kind of a lot of little details that I didn't remember terribly well since I've taken a break between the seasons. So as I was watching the second season, I was like, oh yeah, that's right. That was established in the first season. I had forgotten about that. So maybe watching the first season or rewatching the first season would have been good, but for the most part I was able to follow what happened and vaguely remember what happened in the first one, and you know, still overall just kind of enjoy it. After that, I guess there's a lot of things I really want to watch, but since there's been so many subtitled only releases, there's nothing I can just say, I'll just put this on in the background. Because I've been doing a lot of Starbound and just not paying attention. If I'm not doing Starbound, I've actually been working on the project of putting DVDs back on my non-anime server because I had to replace a couple hard drives. But I filled up that hard drive, so even though I'm not done catching up on DVDs, I'm pretty much at the point where I take a break until I figure out if if tomorrow's paycheck is one that I want to try and spend to put another disc in there in order to finish that project. I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do yet. And if I do that, then I'm probably also going to do something I didn't do before and put those 50 classic horror movies on there. Or was that 100? That was 100 classic horror movies on there. Now, there's already one that's on the server because that's The Last Man on Earth, and I wanted to watch that one. But basically, all that aside, I guess I'm getting a bit sidetracked, very distracted, so hard to think. I've been watching Nura Rise of the Yokai Clan, and that's probably going to continue happening. There's one thing that anime watching has going for it at the moment, and that's that I'm winding down on Starbound since they have announced that they are going to do the next update in about a week. And that one is planned to have a character and a world wipe, so it's like, why am I spending all this time trying to find toxic tops and neon melons when, if I do find them, I'm probably not going to keep them. I say probably, I should say very most likely not going to keep them. So I've only done the minimal things just in case I do get to keep something, but I'm not expecting anything. Instead, this is a good opportunity to go back to Monster Hunter, which is of course going to be very distracting, and since I'm not going to want to fight Diablos the entire time, I'll probably be taking breaks to watch anime, so maybe increases the chance of anime. And since the computer's not doing stuff anymore, it also increases the chance that I'll finish restoring my anime DVD server. I don't know if that will help me watch stuff or not. But, yeah, been watching Nura Rise of the Yokai Clan. I think I got the first Blu-ray disc watched, which would maybe be the first quarter of the first season. And it's an okay show. I wouldn't call it spectacular, but I'd call it fun. It's not done anything to make me go, wow, okay, I definitely have to see more of this. It's like, that could be interesting. I'll see more. It's like, that seems like a pretty fun character. That's a somewhat fun storyline. I'm trying to think what to compare it to, but I guess the best I can say is it's a very Viz anime to be distributed. And I'm not sure if I can quite place what I mean by that, but it seems to me that there's been a couple of other anime they've released that maybe not are same caliber, but kind of shoot in the same general area. It's definitely not the kind of thing that's trying to really challenge the audience, but it's not going light. I'm not quite sure what sort of age range this sort of thing would actually be targeted for. Because something the way it's designed and executed and animated reminds me of something like maybe Law of Ueki. But it's also not as straightforwardly designed as an anime like that, where it's like, oh, this guy has these powers and he has to fight that guy with those powers, or something like that. So I'd be more tempted to compare it to Kakaishi, but I'm not sure if that's an accurate comparison completely, and it doesn't help that they're both about yokai and Ayakashi, and basically there's some overlap in concept source material that make them seem kind of closely related in the mind, and maybe they're not that closely related. It's sort of similar to the problem with the Cowboy Bebop, Outlaw Star, and Trigun, how I kind of think of those as a trio of anime that are kind of worth exploring together as a solid 90s way of beginning to explore anime once you decide you want to start looking under the surface, I guess. And I can't help but think that that relation is only just because I either downloaded them all at the same time and they were just like the most solid things I downloaded when I first started, or if they were all on Cartoon Network. I can't remember. It's all complicated. In any case, I can't really think of anything else to mention other than Magi the Labyrinth, I think it's called. There's a Magi. Well, that shipped, and that should arrive tomorrow, actually. So I'm kind of looking forward to seeing that. Kind of curious about that one, especially since I have actually read a little bit about what it's about. So that's cool. And I'm definitely looking forward to the fact that the Poila Magic Madoka Magica third movie has been announced. The release in Japan has been announced, and it's going to have English subtitles. So regardless of whether or not it's officially imported by Aniplex, that's something I'm definitely going to get, even if there's been things more recently that I've held off on, like Akito the Exile Volume 2, I think, and Steins Gate movie, which somebody might have mentioned subtitles could have used a little more work. I don't know. So, I think that's all of today's updates, so y'all have a nice week.